Hey guys, John Pilon here. Today we're going to talk about VTBs. Have you ever heard of the term VTB? Have you ever come across a deal where the seller was maybe entertaining a VTB and you have no idea what it means? Today we're going to get right into it. So the term VTB stands for vendor take back. That's when the seller, who is the vendor, is going to hold a portion of the mortgage of the property or the entire portion of the mortgage of the property. The VTB can be as small as 5%. It can be as big as 100% of the purchase of the property. It totally depends on the seller's strategy. We should probably do a follow-up video on this so the sellers can be educated as well and they can know they can use their RSPs to invest in mortgages. There's a lot of pros about the VTB. I guess the first thing is that usually the sellers won't be looking at your financial situation too much. They might do a credit check, they might do reference checks, they might check what you currently own what kind of properties you currently own. But overall, it won't be as strict as a bank. It won't be as strict as even a B lender on the property, because really the seller's biggest risk on holding that vendor take back is that they come in and they have to hold that mortgage again. And they just come back, they took over the property, and I guess you're out the property for not paying your bills or for whatever the reason is. But usually it's a win-win. The seller steps back, you're paying him anywhere from 5% to 15% interest on this property, and you come in, you're the managing owner of the property, and you collect the rent, you pay the bills, and that will allow you to grow super fast, not having to go through the banks. After about a year, after about a couple years maybe, you might go back to the bank, bring the property back to the bank, have it appraised a little bit higher, and you may not come out winning at the end with a lot of money in your pocket, but you'll come in with a free property. It'll cost you no money out of your own pocket, little ongoing expenses, because usually the rents are going to cover the ongoing payments for the VTB. Historically speaking, I guess people used to do VTBs and people used to move into the property because they couldn't get bank financing. Another portion of this would be rent to own. And that's a totally different video again, but we'll get into that another time. A VTB can either be in first position, in second position, in third position. It can be cross-collateralized against your whole portfolio. There's a lot of different ways to do it. Today, you're gonna see me going to a lawyer's office. We're signing a loan for $500,000. It's gonna be cross-collateralized against a couple properties. We're using that money from Ontario. We're going out to Alberta. We're buying a couple of properties in Alberta, just growing the portfolio and doing it strategically, I guess. You need to keep the money moving, I guess, and as soon as you keep that money in your bank account, you're not making any money. I mean, what's the bank's return? 2% versus what real estate can give you. Some of you guys may be wondering how to open that conversation. For me, it's a question I always ask. Every single time I buy a property, number one question, ask about a VTB. The seller could literally be 35 years old, or he could be a 85-year-old guy retiring. There's no right answer. There's literally no right answer. You have no idea about someone's financial situation and what their motives are. There's a lot of pros for both the person holding the mortgage along with the person who's going to be, I guess, lending on the property. Yeah, pros both directions. And it's not for everybody. It's literally not for everybody, but we may get it 1 out of every 10 properties we buy. And sometimes we've seen up to 95% of the value of the property held as a VTB. So we come forward 5% down. They hold a 95% VTB term, and usually it'll be a 5-year fixed, and we pay it off in 5 years, bring it back to the bank. There's truly no right answer with a VTB. Just ask the question. At the end of the day, guys, it's a really creative way to structure a deal. I don't think you should pass up any opportunities if you get presented a VTB or if asking for a VTB on any of your purchases. I think it's totally realistic. I think it's totally okay. A lot of people just haven't been educated, that's all. You just need to preach the education, especially if they're an older crowd. A lot of the older guys are really willing to do it because they know they've held VTBs, or they were the ones in our shoes back in 1980s and they were asking for the VTBs. So they know the game, I hope I've answered all your questions with VTBs today. I hope you learned a couple of things. If you guys have any questions at all, please feel free to message me. Either text me, call me. I'm super open. We're looking for more deals. We're looking for more vendor take-back partners. We're looking to grow over the next couple of years. So feel free, message us. Don't forget, guys, please like the video, send me a message, drop some comments below what you'd like to see in the future videos. You can text my text campaign, you can email me, you can call me directly, contact us. We're around. right, so just leaving the lawyer's office right now. Just signed up a second mortgage for about $500,000 for the purchase of the next property. Been a pretty crazy week. We've closed on 150-acre chunk of land, bought a 9-unit in Edmonton, and just got 500 grand for the next property. So keep things rolling here. This guy's gonna fucking punch a hole. It's rocking out. London at its best.